first question is coming from Politico, and we have Ashley Furlong online. Ashley, do you hear us?
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my question. My question is for Seth and Henrietta. The resolution coming out of the World Health Assembly earlier this week says that member states recognize immunization as a global public good. Now, obviously, this is quite an academic term, and there are debates around exactly what that means. I would like to know from you what you see it to mean, and whether you think it has any concrete implications.
Who would like to start? Maybe Henrietta?
Thank you very much. So one of the things that we are trying to say to countries is that be prepared, be innovative, think of vaccines as an investment, that it is smart, that it is strategic, but that it is also an obligation for children. So what we worry about most are the countries that are very poor, and we worry most about the poorest households in every country, and we worry about girls. So as you think about where we need vaccines and how broad it should be, this is our focus and intent and need as a world. Seth, over to you.
So sorry for the delay. It's just we were muted. So, thank you for that question. And I think the important point here is to think about the fact that immunization is not only about protecting the individual, but it's also about creating herd immunity and protecting the rest of society. And that's a critical point, because even if if your child or your family cannot be immunized because they're have an immunosuppressive disease or because the vaccine doesn't take, what protects them is the fact that other people around them are protected. That's why immunization has the characteristics of a global public good. And why in the discussion now as developing COVID-19 vaccines, one of the critical issues there is to think about the role it will play in ending the pandemic. So that's not just the individual protection, but the ability to get rid of infection in surrounding communities, to get rid of reservoirs of infection, et cetera. So to me, that's why we should be thinking about vaccinations as a global public good and not just an individual protection device. And it's something it is a nuance, but it's an important point as we discuss what effects these products can have on the world. Over.
Seth and Henrietta have made some really important points, and I want to just add a couple to those. I think the other thing to recognize around global public health goods, as vaccines are, is that the outbreak pathogens don't recognize borders. And although one country may be able to vaccinate a high proportion of individuals and in fact even induce herd immunity in the country, transmission of pathogens cross borders and mean that we're all at risk when any country is at risk. And as we say, especially for measles, which is one of the most transmissible pathogens, is that measles anywhere is measles everywhere. And when we have measles anywhere, it means every country must continue to immunize and immunize at the rate that it does protect every individual in the community. And so we can't protect from pathogens, from germs crossing our borders. And that's why these vaccines have to be recognized as protecting the whole of the world and the contributions from every country to do that.
Thank you very much.